Well, hello everyone. Happy Sabbath to all my subscribers and to everybody that is watching. I'm just having my Sabbath today. I've just decided just to take it easy, uh, which I do usually. Uh, since I retired, that's one thing I do on a daily basis is just take it easy. But anyway, today is the Sabbath here in the Philippines. And I just wanted to do a little short video here to list the Bible verses for this week for those of you that are following along with me in our weekly Bible reading uh, program, which is through the Bible in 1 year. Um, so I'll list all the different scripture references for this week, and I've already gone through them. It took me about an hour to read through everything and to underline what really jumped out at me. And so anyway, I'll list all that after my video here. I'll list all the Bible verses for this week. So at your leisure, or even during the Sabbath Saturday, you can read along with me in these verses. And then I will list. I will show in the description box uh, Pastor G. Stephen Simons out of Fort Worth, Texas. This is a guy that I watch every week, every Sabbath. I'll watch his service. He's a pastor, and I'm going to have to change arms here pretty quick. Right there. Okay. So I'm just sitting here in my rocking chair. I'm just in my t-shirts. I live here for those of you who don't know, I live here in the Philippines, and my daily attire is just a pair of shorts, flip-flops, and a t-shirt or tank top, and that's what I wear 7 days a week. Unless we go out to do something, then Cheryl will pick out a button shirt for me, short sleeve a button shirt for me. But other than that, man, I just Frump is the name of the game for me. Frumpy. Just relax. My deal is just to dress in a way that everybody else dresses around here, which is very just relaxed existence. So what's new this week? Oh, so let me get back to so check down below. I will list the scripture verses for this week's Bible reading program. I'll list the teaching from Pastor G. Stephen Simons, Fort Worth, Texas. Triumph in Truth .global is his website. I'll list his website, and I'll list something. I watched a little 28-minute YouTube video from Zachary Bauer from newtutora.com. He's got something on that he uploaded within the past day or two about this vaccine that's being proposed, and how he don't know. He admits that he don't know, but he thinks the possibility exists that this could be a not necessarily the mark of the beast, but at least a stepping stone towards the actual mark of the beast. So I'll list his hot link to that YouTube video, so you can just click on it, go right to it. So anyway, what's new for me? I'm just sitting in my rocking chair in the bedroom. I just got through reading my Bible verses for today, and just watching a few preachers on YouTube, and just kind of just taking it easy today. Everybody, Cheryl and Yoshi's in the other bedroom, and they're laying down and taking it easy, and Karen's laid out on the couch in the living room, uh, uh, communicating with her friends on Facebook. So everybody's just kind of taking it easy today. We had, oh, one street over, we had a household that has been found to have the CCP virus, the COVID. So the authorities came in and chained their, according to what Cheryl told me anyway, the authorities came in and put chains on their gates, and they're not allowed to leave the house. So anyway, it's we thought it was going away, but I don't know. Cheryl wants me to stay in the house. In fact, she wants everybody just to stay in the house. The little cousins that usually come and go inside the house all day long because they all live right next to us, right in houses right next to us, or right across a little alley from us. Well, just last night I was thinking, because usually at 5 o'clock, anywhere from 4 to 5 o'clock evening in the evening, I'll go outside and sit because it's starting to cool down, and generally everybody goes outside and walks around, visits, and all that. And I'm sitting out there last night, and it was Cheryl, and this is just a normal everyday event, but Cheryl has so many family members right here living in houses right next door to us, or just you know uh, 50 yards down the road from us. uh, I mean, just last night, and like I said, this is typical. But Cheryl was outside, and there was three or four of her sisters that were just outside, just mingling and talking, and it's just normal. That's how close, geographically speaking, that's how close Cheryl's family is here. Well, usually the nieces and nephews will come and go inside the house, kids, children, and Cheryl told told some of them, don't come in my house, because they go down over on the next block and they play around this house that has the COVID now. And Cheryl told them, don't come inside my house, because you go down there and you play, and then you want to come in my house. No, that ain't gonna happen. So anyway, for right now, we've got our gate closed. There's no kids coming in and out of the house. In fact, Yoshi hasn't gone outside all day, and this is Saturday, and usually there's play day outside because he don't have any school. So anyway, we got that going on. Like I said, Cheryl, she wants me to kind of stay in the house. I try to get on my bicycle and ride a little bit just to get some exercise, but I have a outdoor basketball court. It's a full size basketball court, but it's got a roof over it, a very high steel roof over it. But it's open on all sides. And usually I go down there in the morning, the days I can actually get the gumption to get on my bike and go down there, and it's just right down the road here. Uh, but I go inside this basketball court and do laps. I don't know, I'll be in there for 30 minutes doing laps inside this basketball court. Nobody in there bothering me, nobody around me, and it's just I enjoy doing that. Well, lately I go down there and there's kids in there playing basketball and stuff, so I just turn around and come back home. So I don't get very much exercise because this stupid COVID thing. I can't, I'm just not at liberty to, because I don't want to catch it. I 64 years old. I certainly don't need to catch it. So I just pretty much just stay inside the house or stay very near the house. Um, Another thing that happened this week was I had, when I was working before I retired when I was working, I had a health savings account set up through my employer, and so every paycheck, well, a chunk of that went into this health savings account, and you can't touch it. You get a little card, that you can buy prescription medicine with, or pay for a doctor's visit and all that. Well, when I retired and moved to the Philippines, I couldn't. I wanted to retrieve the money because to me it was a pretty good chunk of money. But I couldn't. I couldn't get it. They wouldn't let me take it out. So I, transferred over here to the Philippines. Moved. That's the what we call transfer is what we call move. I'm gonna move out of this apartment and move into another apartment. Well, here you would say transfer. I'm gonna transfer from one apartment and I'm gonna transfer over to the other apartment. Well, when I transferred over here to the Philippines, I had all that money in that health savings account that I couldn't touch. And finally, it bothered me, but finally I said, it's gone, there's nothing I can do about it. And I just mentally wrote it off. Well, then I get a letter in my mail. I have a mail service in Houston, Texas, and all my domestic mail goes to my mailbox in Houston, Texas, and then I can easily deal with it from there. And if I have to, I every 2 months or so, I'll have them throw all that mail into a Federal Express envelope, and they'll FedEx over right to my house here. It'll be delivered on a motorcycle. So anyway, so there's a letter in my Houston mailbox, and so I have the option of either clicking and have them just toss it, like magazines or whatever, or I can have them open the envelope and they will scan it, and they'll scan it into a PDF file, and then of course they'll put everything back in the envelope, and it goes physically, goes back into my mailbox, and then I deal with it from there. Like I said, I can let it accumulate, and every 2 months or so I'll spend $45, and they'll put it all into a FedEx envelope and send it over here and be delivered right here to my house. Well, I saw this one envelope, and it was from the bank that is holding my money in that health savings account, and so there was this letter, and I wanted to see what was inside of it without having to pay for shipping over here, because for them to open the envelope and scan it, and then restuff the envelope, put it back into my mailbox, it only cost me $3. Okay, so yeah, so I'm gonna pay the $3, and I'll have them scan it. That way I can open up that mail from over here on my laptop. Well, I open it up, and they inform me that this money that has been in my account has been dormant for 24 months, 2 years, which makes sense because I've been over here for almost 26 months now. And they said if we don't hear from you, then the money is forfeited to the state. And the state that this bank is located in is Missouri. So they said if we don't hear from you, then the money will be forfeited to Missouri. So I got on the phone right away. I mean, I can call. I have Skype. That's another thing I have to have. Any expat living overseas should have a way to call back to the States. So I have Skype. I pay for a service with Skype where I can make phone calls, and people could call my Skype phone number and it will ring my cell phone, which I'm looking at right now. I'm looking around for my cell phone, and it's right there. So anyway, so yeah, so I have a Skype number, and so I called the bank right there in Missouri, and told them, what's the deal here, and blah blah blah, and they was getting off on a rabbit trail that had absolutely no interest to me. And I says, listen, I said, I'm retired and I'm living overseas and I have absolutely no need of this health savings account any longer. Can you just direct deposit the money into my bank account? I have an American bank account. And they said, well, no, but we can send you a form that you sign, fill out the information on the form, and then we will send you a check, a hard, paper check. I said, okay, that's fine. So they sent the form via email on the type of file that you can download it, and then you can fill it out, and then you can email it back to them. They needed a signature and all that, so that's fine. So I downloaded the file, the application, filled it out, and then had that application printed out here where I signed it, and then we scanned it, and I put it into an email and sent it back to them. So they seem to be happy with it. So hopefully I'll get the check delivered to my Houston mailbox, and then I'll have it FedExed over here. Once it gets over here, my bank allows me to take a picture of the check with my phone, and they'll honor the deposit. So yeah, I've done it before. It's real easy. There's a name for it. But anyway, so that happened this past week. So that and the COVID situation, the next block over, the situation with the election, and I'm not. Well, I'm a little bit down in the dumps. I'm not feeling like it's a hopeless cause yet. There's days where I'm really, really encouraged that this fraud, because I've been watching all the hearings in Georgia, Arizona, Wisconsin, Michigan. I've been watching them because once they're posted online on YouTube, then I can watch them. And so I've been watching them as they've been uploaded to the YouTube there. And there's days where I'm very encouraged that this fraud will be exposed, and that President Trump, who is the rightful winner of this election, and had the Democrats allowed this election to be honest, Trump would have won by a huge, huge landslide. But this election has just been absolutely infiltrated by some evil forces in America. And the fraud and the corruption and the just the everything that's going on that facilitated this fraud and facilitated this election to be stolen from President Trump. If that's the final outcome, it's anyway. So I'm not super elated with optimism right now, but I do really hope with all my heart that Trump will be declared the rightful, honest, upright winner of this election, as he should be. Uh, I was talking to somebody this past week, and this person knows Christians who are actually supporting Biden. And, I no longer consider myself a Christian, but I certainly was not surprised to hear that there are Christians, people calling themselves Christians anyway, who support Biden. But I was disappointed to hear that. But anyway, like I said, I'm holding out hope that because if this election is allowed to be stolen from President Trump, then who's going to bother on our side anyway, on the right? Who's going to bother to vote again? I mean, it's complete waste of time. If Trump has, if the people who rule the country allow this election to be stolen from Trump, I'll never ever vote again. I've never really agreed with people who don't vote, because I've always, not always, but I in my old age, I've come to believe that voting is an obligation. If you're an American, and if you enjoy American life and American freedom and American prosperity, that it is our obligation to vote. But if this election is allowed to be stolen from President Trump, I'll never ever lift a finger to vote again. In fact, I really have no desire to ever step foot in America again. I might go to Guam, or I might go to Hawaii, because they're pretty close by where I live. But I'll never, if it's up to me, unless it's an obligation, or if it's a have to situation, I have no desire to step foot in America again. And if Trump has this election stolen from him, I'll never step foot in America again. They talk about the decisiveness and the all the hostility between the parties, and clashes between the populace as a whole. Well, the Democrats blame that on us, blame that on Trump, but it's not us. It's not Trump that caused all that. It's the Democrats. You look at all the riots. Who's causing all the riots? The cities that are being burned down. Who's causing all that? It's the left. So anyway, so I'm hoping against hope that this next week, I get so tired of seeing people, yeah, we're going to go, of hearing people say, yeah, we're going to court, we're going to go to court, we're, blah, blah, blah. But yet nothing so far has been definitive. We have all these hearings and all this evidence is being shown, this videotape. I think that was up in Michigan. This videotape that shows the Democrat poll workers pulling suitcases out from underneath table and voting them when there was supposed to be no votes counted at all. I mean, the corruption and the thievery and the dishonesty. And people want to keep saying, "Oh, there's no evidence." The mainstream news media in America, they're not saying anything about this. From what I hear, because I don't watch the mainstream news media in America. I watch NTD News. I watch Newsmax. OAM News, maybe one or two other sources, but the mainstream news media, it's like crickets. They will not report, at least from what I understand, they will not report on anything that's coming out in these hearings. And some of these witnesses, man, they have powerful, powerful testimonies about what they've seen with their own eyes. And we have video and we have just all kinds of proof. But the mainstream news media, it's like, you know, watching them and expecting them to report on this stuff is like crickets, man. I mean, they're not saying anything because they're part of the conspiracy, this evil conspiracy. They're part of it, and it's it's just this globalism. I don't know. So anyway, so we'll see. We're running out of time. The certification don't happen, I think, until the 13th of March or December, 12th or 13th of December. We have until then, but man, time is running out. But I hope something happens. So anyway, that's it for this week. Everybody's doing good. My health is good. Cheryl, she's doing good. She's a little bit discouraged with her health, and a little bit frightened too. But she says sometimes she can't breathe. She'll be on her motorcycle. We talked about this last night. She'll be on her motorcycle going to pay bills or whatever, and she just gets to where she can't breathe, and that's just riding on her motorcycle. So I told her last night, I said, listen, I can go pay the bills. I mean, my health is better than yours. I'm 64 years old and I'm fat and lazy, but my health is better than yours. So I can go pay the bills. She said, no. I said, okay, well then we'll have to figure out something to have somebody go pay the bills for us. So that's what we're going to work on next month, is just to have somebody to go pay the bills for us. But anyway, Karen is doing good. Yoshi's doing good. Everybody's doing good. So I thank God for that. I thank God for our health. Karen went for a scan of her uterus this past week, and the scan, everything's okay. So anyway, that was a little bit of a health scare on her part, but everything's okay. So we thank the good Lord for that. And just take it week by week. Next Friday, I go for my visa extension. So we'll take care of that. We opened up a bank account for Cheryl. So we took care of that this past week. So we got a lot accomplished this past week. So I'm happy about that. So anyway, Shavua Tov to everybody. I appreciate everybody watching. I appreciate my subscribers. And Shavua Tov. Have a good week. And we'll see you next time. And next time maybe I'll even put on a button shirt. I don't know. Who knows? But anyway, we'll see you. Sorry about holding the camera so close to my mug here, but I'm just sitting in my rocking chair. So anyway, Shavua Tov, have a good week, and we'll see you next week. Adios.